Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Adventure Calls. If you enjoyed the series, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below.
Case in point.
Oh, vodka soda. Fancy.
Peaches.
Oh, I need to restart
And
this.
later I have Fireball.
Fireball. I can't say fireball without saying that. I don't know what's wrong. I think it's from a commercial.
Pitbull.
People say that? Oh, sure.
Yeah, Fireball.
Fireball.
In his music. That or Sambuca, one of the two.
Never actually listened to Pitbull. Anyhow. Alright, so, last time we left off with you all entering... Well, some of you already know. But we left off with you entering the ancient elven pyramids deep within the jungles of Vi. Inside you found many murals of many elvish murals depicting the history of this land, describing 4 different tribes, one of snake-like origins, one of lizard origins, an elvish clan, and one of ape-like physique. And inside of the pyramid, curled up in what was once thought to be a boulder covered in vines and moss, turned out to be a massive ape with stone-like growths protruding from the body, as well as vines and bulk. After a brief investigation of the creature, you realize it was injured, and that it had some sort of object, some sort of large limb or stick lodged in its chest, that Nukus believes is the stick of truth that he has been sent to find.
Fight the queens.
For the queens. And sort of answers about this stick and this creature and what may have happened to it, you went deeper into the pyramid searching for answers. You found the history of the 4 clans, or a brief history, and another creature named Basquille, a large multi-headed serpentine-like creature that you have now planned, or in the process of planning on what to do with this information. That's what we pick up, with everyone gathered back up in the main room, with the giant ape and Beatrice eating, and I believe drinking as well.
No.
No,
Alcohol's bad for gorillas.
Alcohol's bad for babies.
Alcohol's bad for babies.
Somehow we've just convinced her that everything in this campaign is a baby.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
Well, either round and squishy or small. And those are 2 of the main things you see when you see a baby. Babies are small and squishy.
We must protect
Just
the guardian.
like this thing, it's small and squishy.
It's squishy, that's at least half.
50% is obviously enough to be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you're
That's as much as you need to pass in Canada, dude.
As long as you're half baby, you are all baby.
Yeah.
Look at your big baby.
Just a big baby. I fed it too. So it's good. Yeah. Do you want some fruit and soup?
This is no time for eating. We must protect the guardian of the stick of truth. The non-believers, they are coming for him.
I have. Look. It's soup. And he's eating and healing. Soup.
Will the soup stop the non-believer?
If we throw it at them really hard.
Good, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good soup.
So who am I throwing my soup to?
We have to throw the soup at the non-believers. You throw the soup, and I will spit on them. We must protect the Guardian. They are coming for him. They will reinstate their dark god.
Okay. Who are the non-believers?
It would appear that we have been misled. The snakish ones. They wish to install their dark god.
Are you sure?
The temple beneath tells the story.
But isn't that like really old?
Gobbler de Felix, explain!
Yes. Explain. That is the thing that I am doing now. What am I explaining?
Explain the story of the temple and why we must protect the guardian of the stick.
Ah, yes. And he kind of goes through his bag and begins pulling out all of these different sketches and etches that he has made of all of the different murals in the pyramid. Where you see, there's four clans. There's the pointed-eared, I guess, elven ones, and then there's the monkey-like ones, and then we have the snake ones, and over here we have the lizard ones. Just going by vision, I'm guessing that these two are alive and these two are not. There's obviously a giant gorilla-like thing, and he points to the giant gorilla. See, this is probably that. And we have a giant snake over here. Haven't seen that before, so that's new. Going to be terribly honest with you, I can't read any of this.
So
Oh,
we
find the
need to
cowardly
kill the
snake.
snake.
Yes, we must get his heart and give it to the guardian so that the guardian can present us with a stick of truth. For the stick of truth is the heart of the guardian, and for us to be able to take the stick, the guardian needs another heart. And only another heart will do.
Okay. Where's the snake?
I will find it face first into the ground, just start scooting around, just...
Perception check. Also, Chicken Man, you're muted if you don't know that. I don't know if you do.
I did not know that.
Well, this is why I check.
16.
16. Yeah. Alright, with 16, as you hit the ground and begin sniffing for snakes, you do actually, you sniff out the ground, leading with your echidna nose, up to a series of rubble and vines, and inside of one of the crevices you find a very tiny little snake, kind of curled up inside, sleeping.
Stare at it for a long moment. Just,
You stare at it. It flicks its tongue.
What'd you find?
I pull out the big stick.
That's a noodle.
Die, child of the dark one! And I smack it with the big stick.
No, don't smack it. I try to stop him.
Alright,
Can I stop
if you want to try and stop him, make a strength check to try and. Alright, question. How would you like to stop him? Because there's multiple ways you could try and do this.
Well, I'm assuming he's swinging on it with a weapon, so I'm gonna grab the weapon from him.
Okay, that's going to be a strength check. To either just, yeah, it's going to be a strength check.
Strength check.
To
Alright.
either disarm him or just prevent his swing from going full on.
This is a contested roll then?
Yes, it would also be a strength check on your side.
Strength check. Okay. Natural 20.
9. I rolled a 4.
Rip. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good, Beatrice. Nuckles is too convicted. He's too strong in his conviction, and your arms, despite being fiercely strong, are not strong enough for Nuckles' conviction. And Nuckles brains the stick down on this rebel on this crevice where the snake is, and absolutely roll an attack roll. Yep, absolutely obliterates it. A 19 to hit, but a minimum on damage. Absolutely obliterates this rebel.
I like to imagine that there's like a few second delay from when Nuckles actually did that. Like he smacked the snake and Beatrice is like, no!
No. Yeah. So Nuggles, you slam your stick down on this rebel, and it just all collapses down. And several seconds later, you see the snake crawling out from like a back end of the rebel, and just kind of sits on top of the rock.
Oh, so he didn't hit it?
Nope, I only hit the rebel.
No, it was in a crevice. There's no way he could possibly hit it.
Oh.
You see, it uses its foul sorcery to protect itself. We must kill it.
Isn't the snake supposed to be really big?
It is a child of the Dark God, or possibly the reincarnation of it. We do not know. It is here.
I don't think it would be here if it was small. I think this place requires a lot of big dick energy. Takes a swing. And that's I don't think that's a big dick snake.
Nuggles turns and looks at the snake, squinting very hard.
Is it a dick snake?
No, it's like 3 inches long.
Is it Mara from Persona?
You are correct. This snake, it does not have a big dick.
No.
Nuggles has seen much of the big energy, but not here.
Yeah. What? Oh, so where do we go?
We must go smite the first queens.
But do they know?
It is why they would want peace with the lizard ones. They want to come here and together reinstall their dark god. You see, and Nuggles just like skids, like skitters over to the array of like murals that Felix has done. It just starts pointing at the one where it shows like the division between the elves and the monkeys versus the lizard folk and the Yanti, and just you see it.
Oh, all the people are gone.
Yes, killed off by the non-believers. It points over to Yanti side.
I think we should find out what happened to the snake. I think we need to fight the big snake. Let's fight the big snake.
Nuggles will skitter over to the large monkey and just prostrate himself and like bow. Okay, guardian of the stick, Where is your adversary? Where is the snake that we might smite it in the name of the queens?
Yeah.
Switching to Sylvan for this, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna smack it. I'm gonna punch it.
While this is going on, Cross, what are you doing? Are you doing anything?
I don't know. No. Watching
Very-
them banter.
Yes, banter. Very good. Continue.
So we went and we checked the pyramid temple thing. Did we check the pillars? The 4 pillars?
I think we skipped like the floor just below this one because we were in a hurry to get back to the
So the four pillars, all the pyramid. The main pyramid is made up of these 4 separate pyramids, all kind of
Cool. Okay,
Conglomerate
okay. I
together.
thought we just went through
Yeah.
like the one in the center, and there's 4 on the outside.
No. It's all one big thing. There isn't like any segmented bits. Like there's no pillars. Like there's 4 pyramids that all kind of congeal into one giant pyramid.
Gotcha.
It is the castle pyramid.
But to your knowledge, you only checked one side.
What? I thought we went through the whole thing.
You went through one side of the whole thing, which was the Elven side. Is the side that you went into.
Did we walk around everywhere?
We did on like the first floor, I think, and then we kind of skipped past the next couple.
You went around the outside of the first floor, and then you went
Remember,
into...
I got treasure from every room. I got a bunch of treasure.
Yeah, from one side.
Well, if there's more to be uncovered, I will go find treasure.
Alright, so, while this is happening, Cross, you decide to go back out and, try out some of the other sides to see if there's any more rooms. Yeah, so, there is the side that you went on originally, which was the Elven side, and then those 4 other sides. There is the Wanty side, there is the Lizard Folk side, and then there was this other side that has these ape-like people on it. Which side are you going
Sure, I
first?
went in one of every one, didn't I? And we saw the whole story.
No, you saw. I mean, it's up to you to presume if you saw the whole story or not, but you didn't go into every single side.
This is confusing. But sure, I will keep exploring. I must see everything.
Yeah. So, which side would Cross go into first, or is it?
What's closer?
Well, as you exit out, you're on the Elven side right now. So the closest 2 would be the Lizard Folk side and the Wanty side on either portion.
I guess let's go to the Yuan-Ti.
Alright, you go into the Yuan-Ti side of the pyramid, and as you enter, you see. I'm just going like for expediency sake, just like congeal all this down into like one big description. And just kind of assume you like check the entirety of the side. So you go into the Wanty side, and on this portion you find rooms that are very similar to the side that you went on, but these depictions are kind of telling the story from the side of the Yuan-Ti tribe's perspective. You see, instead of before when you see an elven village, now it's a village of Yuan-Ti living in trees and living amongst serpents. It just kind of takes you along the progressive story of their people. as you get to like about the third floor, however, a lot of those cave marking, not cave, a lot of those pyramid markings, a lot of the drawings, the pictures, have been scratched out and almost look like they have been erased purposefully.
But I can still see it though, right? Or no, it's gone.
Make an investigation check to see if you can find anything that may have survived.
So I can only see the tree people in the trees, and that's the only clear thing.
So to the point where the history is still intact, kind of just describes basic life of the 1T tribe, which is very similar to the tribe that you have met in person. And that's like the first 2 floors. And then once you get to the 3rd floor, all of these like drawings and markings have been kind of destroyed and etched out. We'll say you have advantage because you do have your tag team with you. Because honestly, there's no reason for you to ever roll without advantage for this kind of stuff. So with a 20, as you kind of search these, not edging. What's the fucking word I'm looking for? Not etchings. Not really drawings. Carvings. Is that right? Carvings? Maybe.
Carvings.
I don't fucking know. Never actually heard heralds using this time form. That's interesting. I like that one. But as you kind of go over all of these, a lot of it is in disarray. A lot of it looks like a lot of it was purposefully scratched out and made to be unreadable and unrecognizable. But as you look carefully, you do find this almost like the smallest depiction of what remains of what looks like some kind of ceremony being either planned or taking place.
Like a wedding ceremony?
Make an insight check.
Beatrice is gonna float over to you like her DVD screensaver float over to you.
Bing.
And she sort of just grabs onto you and starts floating up so that you can have a better look at the writings and everything.
Is this the help action?
Yes, it's help action.
Okay.
Oh, you went with him?
Yeah.
Oh, so Noogles is just alone with the monkey right now.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he's doing important things. He's small. I'm gonna help him read. And they'll float over to you. And as you're floating up across, Beatrice just goes, can you read better?
Help is advantage, or is that help plus something?
Help action is advantage. You just got a natural 20 because of it, so that's good.
Hey, thank you. I missed it from this angle. This is a better angle. Wow. It looks like a good. What kind of ceremony?
This is how you read better. You get taller. It's
Yes,
science.
I'm a small creature. Okay, I'm not medium.
It's science. Alright, so with this newfound perspective of height, as you look at this depiction of what could is most likely a ceremony, it does not look like a wedding. It looks like some sort of summoning ritual, or possibly a transmutation ritual. And with your knowledge of enchantments and working with the arcane and all that kind of stuff. This is actually somewhat up your alley. It looks like something either happened or something was planned to create this massive either summoning ritual or alteration ritual, transmutation ritual, but you're not sure if it happened or if it worked or what the outcome was. You just know that there is a brief history that it existed and someone took great care to try and wipe it all out from knowledge. Wipe out knowledge.
Can you say it again? What was that?
Which part?
Like 1 sentence ago.
It looks like someone took great care to try and wipe out.
Yeah, right before that.
I forgot what it was.
So did I.
I believe I said it was some sort of either conjuration or alteration. Not alteration. Fucking
Dress alteration?
alteration isn't actually magic. It's a transmutation. That's what I said. Either some sort of transmutation or conjuration ritual that was being planned out or has happened.
Okay.
But you're not sure what the outcome of it was if it did happen.
I see. Cool. Ritual. Ceremony. Yes. Where's the treasure?
Roll investigation for treasure. Go ahead and give me 4 rolls just to be like, I looked through all 4 levels. Actually, you can just roll twice and we'll use the advantage disadvantage line. Wow, natural 20. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Let's see. First one was a 26. Alright, as you go through the first room, you find excuse me. You find a jade serpentine statue kind of tucked away in some of the rubble.
I have a question. Have you made notes about the other treasure I had, or no?
I have a vague memory.
Okay, I don't have any place for notes.
If you double click a token, there's like a little section on there for that you can put notes.
There is. Okay, I remember some old coins.
Old coins, I believe you found.
Thing.
Yeah. Those. I believe there was also a jade statue of, I think, an elven woman or something like that. And then you found an old elven bow.
Oh yes.
I don't think you actually. Did you find the full thing? I feel like you did, or maybe you didn't.
Tell me what it is, and I'll tell you if I found it.
I don't remember what it would be. That's the thing. Let's see.
I think there's like old coins and old gems.
It might have been.
But
That's what it was. It was a statue that had like 2 gem eye socketed in it, and I think you pried them out. That's what it was.
Cool.
I can't remember what they were.
And what is this one they got? They said like another statue.
Yeah, this is a jade serpent statue that you just found. The 14. That's what you find in the first room. You go up into the second room, you find some more of these old like coins. You find about another 10 of those. Um, go up into the next room. Let me see here. Alright, you go up into the next room. And you find a excuse me. You find a an old made javelin that has a that the shaft is made out of this serpent body that kind of coils around the shaft, with its mouth opening up to where the spear tip kind of comes out at, and the spear tip has like little, what looks like streaks of lightning kind of etched into the blade. And then with a 27. With a 27, you find a very old, tattered cloak that is kind of haphazardly fallen down in an old, what looks like a cabinet or closet that that the outside is kind of rusted away and kind of eaten away by the weather, but the cloak looks for the most part in a decent condition.
I shall adorn the cloak.
Alright. You throw the cloak over you. It's a little long on your stature, and your stature looks more like a long flowing cape. Uh, the back, the inside of it is like this nice dark purple kind of coloration. And on the back is like this nice like jungle aesthetic of leaves, vines kind of growing up and around, up to the clasps that are like these two serpent heads that kind of clasp onto each other by the fangs.
Nice. Any more story on these walls?
Nothing else that you can find.
Mm-hmm. I return to group.
On to the next one? Or was there different sections of the place, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So we looked at the Elven one first, and now we just looked at the T one.
Yep. I was gonna hook up with Knuckles if he wanted to go to another one, but he's gone now, so
He's with the monkey.
he's busy with Monkey. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which one you want to go to now? I think we're by the monkey people now. Or do you want to wait for Knuckles for that one? You want to go monkey people? Okay, we're going monkey people. Monkey people.
Alright. You go and you go into the side where these ape-like people are. Alright, so go ahead and give me an investigation check. Just go ahead and make it with advantage, because not only do you have someone else there with you, but you also have your like trail of familiars.
21.
21? No, stupid. 21. All right, with a 21, as you kind of look around, the kind of going up in order. The first few floors you find are kind of not what you probably expect. You're probably expecting as soon as you walk in to see like this group of ape-like people or something like that, but instead what you find is a similar depiction that you saw on the Elven side, and it looks like this Elven tribe or this Elven clan that dwelled in the jungle. And it's almost exact to what you saw on the other side, with very little difference. Until you get to the until you get to like the third, no, wait, yeah, to the second floor. That's when things start to change, because at the second floor you stop seeing these depictions of these elven groups, but you begin to see depictions of these ape individuals.
Monkey people.
Monkey. And what you see is these kind of or sub. What you see is a clan that kind of separates into a new kind of clan, and this is where these ape individuals kind of seem to appear and grow. Thrive. That's the word I was looking for. Thrive. And you see that they take to the trees for the most part, kind of living on their own, kind of secluded. You see that they make these large, not quite temples, but these large stone and structures that kind of, instead of building in the jungle, kind of destroying the environment, kind of building in it, and instead the structures kind of actually grow with the jungle. They're built around it. They'll be able to live with it. And then you keep going, and you find depictions similar to what you saw on the Elven side, which is like this combat area where a giant ape and a giant multi-headed serpent are fighting each other. And that depiction is about same for both sides that you found. Only on this side you're kind of like seeing it from the perspective of like these ape individuals.
So there's a snake fighting monkey.
Pretty much.
Yes. Okay.
Lizard people?
Treasure. Find the treasure.
Treasure! Alright, roll for treasure.
You want to roll
Roll
for
for treasure.
treasure?
Okay, I help you.
Okay, you can do the rolls.
I help. Oh, I do the rolls?
Sure.
Okay, what am I rolling?
You want me to do it?
You know what? First on, what are we rolling?
Investigation. To find treasure.
You roll, because I immediately have investigation.
Okay. Let's
Not
knock
only
it
that,
down.
but you have a much better investigation than what she does. Than what anyone else here does.
420.
Nice.
Alrighty, let's see here. Alright, so
21.
21. As you look through the false floor looking for treasure, you find another, or you find, I don't know, you find a, like this ring, kind of like the stone ring that has several gems kind of faceted in it. That has deteriorated over time to quite a lot, but the gems are still, they're still in there for the most part. There are several that are all kind of missing, but most of the gems are there. They aren't very large, they're kind of small, but could be worth a little something. You go up to the second room. You go up to the second room, and you find this this remnants of what looks like some sort of armory or some kind. Most of the items in here have rusted away or of little value to anyone other than like an archaeologist. You do find one shield that is still present. It looks like some sort of buckler of some kind.
A bakla?
A buckler? She.
Bakla.
Buckler. And in the middle, where there's like the little dome bit is this like depiction of like an open mouth chimp.
You said it's a shield that looks like a what?
It's a buckler shield, but in the middle
Oh,
there's like
buckler.
a little, yeah, buckler shield, a buckler.
I thought you said bakla.
No. Well, I did as a joke after you said it. But no, a buckler. Buckler.
Oh, okay.
Nah, girl, it's a buckler. Okay. Let's see. 23. Okay. In the next room, you find another. You find another what looks like
What was on the shield?
it has like a depiction of like an open mouthed chimp. It's like a kind of like a 3D depiction of an open mouthed chimp.
Monkey.
Monkey. With 23, you find a fairly nice jade ring that's in pretty decent condition. And then with a 22, you go into the last room, you look around, and in here you find a container, a sealed container, and you kind of open it up and you look inside, and inside you find what looks like some very finely made, some very fine silvery powder inside. So what you find on this side of the pyramid? What
That
do you
was
do now?
3 things, right?
What was that?
That was 3 things?
Oh, that was 4 things.
Well, the ring, the shield, and the container?
You found another ring too. You found a jade ring.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, you found a ring that was made mostly of jade.
Well, alright. Oh, that was monkey people.
Monkey.
Do you want the shield?
I don't know how to use shield things.
You just hold it, and then you can punch them with the shield.
Okay. I'll
Is that
take
how
the
that-
shield.
Is that how that works, DM?
Sure, why not? Fuck it.
And that's how it works with Barbarian, but let me check Monk real quick.
If not, I'll just keep it. If she don't want it, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, monks can't be wielding a shield.
Here, take it back.
Okay. It's
So
too heavy
weird
for
But
Sure.
what if you don't use it as a shield?
you.
I become a turtle.
Such a weird
I'm
distinction.
gonna
that you-
take it. I'm gonna become a turtle. I put it.
Now you're
Beatrice,
using it as more of a shield. It's even more of a shield now.
She puts it on her back and she goes on all fours. She starts crawling on the floor like a turtle. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I'm a turtle.
Such a weird distinction I didn't recognize before. Like, monks can't be using a shield, but barbarians can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because monks need 2 hands to punch. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't punch someone with a shield. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Kick.
dumb. Don't worry
You know,
about it.
Kick and headbutt and elbow drop.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Turtle.
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 Give him the RKO.
The back slam.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect because nobody can hear you coming because you fly.
Yeah, you're right.
Male.
Man, everyone's fucked, dude.
Just RKO somebody out of nowhere.
Beatrice, you know what to do. Alright.
It's Beatrice! We both went for it. We both went for it.
We both went for it.
Alright, what are you doing now?
Beatrice is still holding cross.
You want to see lizard people or go back to monkey?
What do we do?
Lizard people is on the way.
We're gonna kill the lizard people?
No. We're gonna look at the room with the lizard people.
Oh. Okay. She'll glide over to the room, carrying you. Still.
You know, not to be that guy, but where is Felix during all this?
He's sitting in his corner, in his playpen.
Oh god, my cat has the zoomies.
Yes.
Felix is probably with you too. Because archaeology and all that good shit.
Yep.
Alright, so you go to the lizard folk side.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
You go to the side where the lizard folk are. Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
For the story?
If you like to. If you don't, no. If not, bother to look for, you know, clues to where it
Yes.
may have gone down.
Story. Story.
Story. Cross
You
does not
have
care
the
about the story.
vintage.
All right.
I'm not good with stories.
You've had too many stories. Too many stories for one day.
It's basically the same story over and over again.
Pretty much. Yeah. So on this side, you kind of see like the depiction of the way of life for those folk. Not too dissimilar from what you have already encountered. There are a few differences. You see a depiction of what look like different clans kind of coming together at times and partaking of some sort of food and drink and wild hallucinations that proceed.
Hell yeah, dude.
Ha yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Shot.
these are my people.
Keep going, and you see depictions of what looks like some sort of disagreement between the lizard folk tribe and the Wanti tribe. And then you get to the top, and you see this same battle that you saw before. Well, the lizard folk are, helping in the battle. And then it kind of ends.
I see. Battle.
What?
Treasure!
Treasure. Roll for treasure.
Oh.
You get 1 penny.
One of the rooms is gonna give me a penny.
Alright. You go through several rooms. This side, you don't really find anything super interesting. You find in the first floor, you find some more of these coins. You find about another 20 or so of these coins. You find some more on the third floor. So from this side, you have about 30, 35 of these stone coins. One room, you find not much in it. You find like what looks like to be some old spices that may have held up after some time. You're not too sure. They're in a closed container, and the container was fairly nicely sealed, among several other containers that were not so nicely sealed. So the contents still seem to be dry, so could be good. Then you look around a little bit more, and you find in the second room you find some what looked like to be some what's the word? Fucking. You find some fucking. Yeah, you find some fucking. You find some
Nice.
you find some ancient lizard porno.
Meanwhile, from another campaign, did someone say?
Did someone mention fucking?
Did someone mention fucking without me?
No, yes, no, shut
Yes. No. I mean, maybe. No. Shut up. Nah. Nah. Yeah. Say nah.
Meanwhile, somewhere in Echo, and a very specific Naga just sneezed.
A very similar character. Uh, but no, you find what looks like a stone tablet that has like some gold like calligraphy kind of on it. Kind of looks like some sort of either poem or story that was made of made to last out of it, like stone, like a stone tablet that has the words of kind of like this fancy calligraphy kind of deal,
Nice.
and they're kind of etched in with like a gold inlay.
Nice. I'm sure the lizard people are gonna love this story.
They will.
Little monkey.
Monkey.
Oh, here, you can have these spices.
What are these?
Spicy spices.
Thank you. I need to find that honey bug again. I make it really good. Yeah. Thank you.
Is this the good kind of spices, like the good stuff, or is this just regular spices?
How old does shit be too? Is this spices or is this like someone's ashes, man?
An investigation check.
I'm gonna she's gonna wet her finger,
Taste it.
dunk it in, pull, yeah, and taste it.
Wet your
That's when
finger
it's
with
nice.
ale spit, aka rain.
Yep. Yep. What is this investigation?
Yeah.
Can I, and because it's food, can I have a normal roll?
Because it's, well, I mean, is it food? We're about to find out.
We're about to find out.
Roll advantage because you do know food.
Alright, so that's a 17.
Alright, with 17, you wet your finger with your rain spit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You open your mouth and it's just like a rain in your mouth.
It's actually raining in her mouth.
Yeah, it's actually just rain. It's like a little mini storm cloud inside.
It smells beautiful.
Yeah.
Smells like freshly rained dew. And
I make
ozone.
sure to mist my mouth every morning.
Yeah, you stick your finger in, taste it. It tastes like very old, very dry spices.
Soup.
Good soup.
Soup. Thank you! I'm gonna make a soup. What time is it? Is it soup time? No. And she's now just thinking about what kind of things she can do with the spices.
Yeah, we return to monkey.
Alright.
I like being carried. Now I know why you enjoy being pulled by horses. This is fun, floating.
I mean, aren't you
Yeah.
always being carried?
Me?
Yes,
No,
you're
no,
always
I'm-
riding something. You're always riding
I'm
nugget.
riding, but now this is a sense of weightlessness, okay?
No,
I'll hold
fine.
you like a baby.
No, baby. I like it being lifted by my armpits.
Already,
No
no,
need for- no
it's
need
too
for
late.
baby spit.
It's too late. You're already swaddled. There's like a binky in your mouth. As soon as she said it, it was already too late.
No, back up out of her arms. Let's go. Let's back
No, she has him outstretched like Simba. Just presenting him the whole way she's floating around.
Your name will be Simba.
Nothing.
Okay, I fall asleep. I'll make a call. I'll make a phone call. I'll be back.
You fall asleep in your Superman position.
Da, 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 da. Oh, copyright.
Copyright. Copyright. Alright. You two make it back up to the, 3, technically, well, 4, 5? There's a lot of you, if you count things. Make it back up to the area with the giant ape and where Nuckles is. Nuckles, during this time, what were you doing?
I had slipped into Sylvan and I was asking Thoth where Baskel is in Nukel's speak.
Okay. Yeah, so, you begin to speak Sylvan, to the giant ape, while everyone else is away.
Try it again.
There is no response in the language, but the ape kind of looks at you with a sense of understanding, and it kind of places a hand on the wounds on its chest, the ones that you haven't healed quite yet. You healed up like the little tiny bits, but the two major like pierce wounds that are kind of still in its chest still remain. And it takes his hand away. There's like a little bit of blood still. And it takes like this really fat bloody finger that's about the size of you and kind of just pushes it to your forehead.
Simba.
Ah, shit, it is. I just did it. Fuck. Oh, God. No, that was a mango. It's different. It was a mango.
It's a circle of life.
I actually don't know what that. I don't even think that fruit fucking exists that they used. I don't think that tree makes fruit.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was a pomegranate, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I don't think
now
that
it's
tree
mango.
makes fruit.
It was dusty.
Dusty? What?
It was dusty,
Or was it
wasn't
wet?
it?
What?
No.
I thought it was wet. Was it? I thought he
It's
put
wet.
like dust. Like he had a fruit that he cracked open,
Yes.
and he put like dust in the juices and like mixed it up to be like a paint or some shit.
Yeah.
Is Babab fruit.
It's what?
Ah.
So it does
Babab
exist.
fruit.
It's a thing.
Yes.
It's actually okay then.
Makes sense because he is a baboon.
It is probably not delicious. Anyway, it kind of pushes like this blood stain on your forehead, which honestly doesn't really show that much because you're fucking red. And lets out like a low kind of ape groan, I guess. I don't know. Like what do you call it? Howl, maybe? I don't know. And
Sad ook.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually describe what an ape sound is. Like, they make the sound, but they don't say, "Oh yeah, it's a howl." I mean, well, howl monkey.
It's a coo. He's cooing.
Is it a coo?
I don't know.
I guess that would make the most sense. I guess it sounds most like a coo. Like I don't know.
Aren't you a biologist?
I am, but not for gorillas. And it takes like its hand that still has some blood on it and begins to like draw a picture on the stone in front of you. And this is not a good picture. It is an ape. But it draws out like this. What looks like this area of trees. And then it takes its hand and it kind of smears away the trees. and puts like this squiggle line, and then puts like two like sharp triangles on one end. And it reaches back.
Does Nucles understand this more than the original thing I asked him?
I don't know. It reaches back to like the wound and like draws what looks like another kind of wavy line next to this picture. And there's a fish in it. Yeah, there's a
Yep.
Jesus fish in it. There's a Jesus fish.
And like, when he draws these two squiggly lines, are they parallel or perpendicular?
To each other, or
To each other, yeah.
trying to remember which is which. Parallel.
Parallel with...
Parallel.
Okay.
He drew a little Jesus fish in between the two lines.
And you say he also drew two triangles on... are they on just the side of one line, or are they just like between the two?
He drew the snake and he drew a river next to the snake is what I'm trying to get to you.
Yeah. It's in the river.
He drew like a massive area of trees and then wiped away the trees, drew the snake on top of it, and then drew a river next to it. That's what he did.
In the river, in the forest. I spin around to talk to Felix, but he's gone.
You spin around to talk to Felix and no one is there.
I see. They prepared themselves. I too must prepare myself with the traditional war dance of my people.
What?
So when Beatrice and Cross get back, it's just Nucle's sitting there just going, ah, 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 ah.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, so you oh wait, no. You guys want
He
else? Go
literally
for it.
does that the entire time until they get back.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, so you two come back and you hear this. You hear that.
Just, ah, ah, ah.
Are you okay?
What is he doing?
Are you injured?
No, it is the war dance of my people. We prepare for war.
Did they take Felix?
Felix is right here.
Oh.
He's been following us this whole time.
What the heck? I didn't see him.
I'm gonna lower him right into Felix's face.
Look, here.
Hello. Put me down, woman.
Okay.
I just drop him.
Thank you for the ride.
You're welcome. I'll get my whiskey.
And she'll float over to her little bonfire that she made all the food on.
Nucles will go skittering over to Felix. Come, Lady Felix! I require you and your map once more.
He walks over to you. Yes, what is it that you, need?
The great Thoth has revealed to me the location of Bascule. He is in the river in the woods.
Oh, yes. Well, the river does go through the jungle, yes.
We must follow the river and find Bascule and take his heart.
Why?
So that Thoth may have a heart, so that we can take the stick of truth for the queens.
Well, I can't fight that logic.
arguing with a paladin in a nutshell. Must see map, must see way, must see way. Must know the way. As the queens would have it. Must see the way to know the way. Just staring at Felix very, very expectantly without blinking.
He stares back. Yes.
He
Give me a-
looks at me, and I look.
Oh
at
yes,
him.
that. He reaches into his pack and pulls out this long tube and pulls out the map and opens it up. Well, let's see. The river's here, and it goes down there, and we're up here, and the river seems to end here, which is a bit strange now that I think about it. Anyway, so I don't have any large areas of snake on my map, except for the snake people.
What about large area of wood?
Large area of wood. Well, there's a lot of wood everywhere. It's a jungle. You could always just follow the river.
Yes, we must find Basquiat and take his heart.
Indeed. For science.
For the stick of truth.
Sure. For soup.
Soup.
And omelets. That just appear in your mouth in the morning.
Yeah.
This is
You may eat the-
such a
you may eat the
strange
rest of the
land. I don't know how it happens, but it happens every morning. There's always an omelet in your mouth, and when you wake up, I don't quite know how to explain it. It just happens.
You just hear an egg cracking in the background. She starts frying up an egg.
So you are the cobbler that Felix that is licking omelets.
I don't know what that means.
This
Do
is
you,
a
do
very
you not wake up
sensitive-
in the morning with an omelet in your mouth ever since you came here?
No.
Just me then, huh? I must be the chosen one.
Are you a magic man?
I don't think so, but I think the omelets have chosen me. This land, and this mysterious omelets.
I see.
What do you do in
have
such circumstances?
Praise the queens.
Do you accept the power of morning omelets, or do you dare?
They are gifts from the queens. You accept them with great grace.
I see. In that case, I would not turn down this power of omelets in my mouth. Or accept
You are
it.
the herald of the queens, cobbler de Felix. They bestow upon you the gift of omelet.
I feel powerful. Or maybe that's the high cholesterol. I'm not too sure.
It is the power that flows through your veins. Join me in my traditional war dance. Ah, oh, ah, he. Ah, oh, ah, he.
He joins in with and you just hear like the clanging of metal in his backpack as he does it.
I don't know about run across him, Beatrice, and just be, are you ready to hunt a dark snake god?
Yes.
What time is it at this point?
Well, let's see. You came
7 PST.
Yes. You came here at. Let me see. Let me walk through this. Alright, you left in the middle of the night. You eventually stopped at some point. You slept for the rest of your rest. And then kept going. Don't believe you rested again. So, if anything, and it takes you quite a long time to actually go through these runes. So, at this point, I would say it would be late afternoon, if anything.
Hello.
Hello?
What's happened? What did you do? What did you do?
Omelets.
You. Oh. Oh. Ugh. Ugh.
Well, you never did an omelet? I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, how fresh were the eggs, man?
Like a week or so, Refrigerated, of course.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But late afternoon. Late afternoon is the answer to that.
Yeah.
Not to
Sorry,
the egg question.
continue.
But,
Oh, you asked a what?
What? Eggs?
You asked a question?
Omelets?
Omelets?
Omelet eggs? Morning
I love
breakfast
omelets.
omelets?
Yes.
Omelets that just appear in your mouth for no reason whatsoever? Has absolutely nothing to do with a
That
southern air
was
condensing?
me. That was me.
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. Persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion.
8.
Oh, you don't have to be like that, Beatrice. I know this land is new and strange, and the magics are even more so.
You need your
But-
protein.
Exactly, and that is why I, with the blessing of Nookles, will take up this power of mouth omelets, specifically only for the morning. But perhaps with enough training, I could make mouth omelets whenever I want.
I can teach you how, but you have to wake up.
She could teach you, but she'll have to charge.
Wake up.
I
No, I don't. I think I would prefer to sleep while I make my omelets. I do enjoy sleeping.
I don't think that's possible. Okay.
Shall
I
we
know.
go hunt the dog?
Do not question the magics, Beatrice. They are strange to even me. But they have chosen me to make mouth omelets, and
This
Wow.
is the hell cobbler that Felix given to us by the queens, praised by the queens, given omelets by the power of the queens.
We queens.
yes.
Suddenly this just evolves into yes, queen.
Queen.
I was headed though. I was about to do it. I stopped myself. I just went yes, and that was I stopped. I was about to say queen.
So are we ready to go and hunt the dark god?
Yes.
Then follow me to war! Runs over the vine and starts climbing out.
So we'll start floating up, grabbing onto whoever wants to take a lift.
Felix hops up. Yes, please. Climbing is not my specialty.
Alrighty.
Isn't there a big hole in the side?
What's that?
Is there a big hole in the side?
Yes.
I'll go through the big hole.
Nucleus is a man of 9 intelligence.
All right. You all make your way out. Where do go?
We're going to the river to follow it and find Baskin.
Alright. Well, the river is not too difficult to find. The river flows out of the pyramid.
I call upon Iwahiho and have him come to me.
Oh, before we left, I did say goodbye to the monkey.
Before you fly out, you approach the ape. You say your goodbyes.
Bye. Eat your vegetables in 3 meals a day.
It as you're saying goodbye, it reaches out, pats you on the head with its pinky finger, and then
Her,
then,
her
like,
whole head smushes.
and then like reaches over to like its back and begins to scratch around and pulls out like a very small, like, shriveled up banana and kind of hands it to you.
She'll take it. She'll look at it. I'll treasure it. She'll put it in her pocket.
It puts its like hand up to its mouth and goes.
I eat it. Is he insinuating for me to eat the banana?
Something like that.
Alright, she'll eat the banana.
It does not taste good. It's a very old banana. It's extremely mushy.
Thank you very much.
Is this what the monkey want for us? To eat the banana?
It wanted me to eat the banana, yes.
Okay, let's go.
Alright. You all make your way out and begin to follow the river. Go ahead and make me survival checks.
Whoever wants to take my help action because
Actually, I guess this is
a menagerie to...
I guess this is a good question. Are you going to how are you traveling? Are you going to just travel beside the river, or is there like any other plan other than just following beside the river?
That is a good point.
Good.
Well, we might want to be in the river at some point to look inside.
Noogles just knows that Baskin is in the river and must be found. He is not an intelligent man, he is a convicted one. Wrong word. He's a man of conviction. There we go.
He's in jail. He's in jail.
Yeah.
Always. A jail of his own making. A jail of his own mind.
17 different felonies.
You're not wrong.
His mind, unfortunately, has 17 different felonies.
But, yeah, unless somebody gives him a better idea, he's literally just following beside the river, riding a Wahiho.
Hmm.
It's up to y'all. However you wish to travel.
Oh, no one has a swimming speed, so yes. Do we have a general idea where we want to go, right? On the map, or no? We're just gonna follow it for a while.
It was very vague instructions. It was just, he's in the river somewhere.
The plan right now is follow the river. Hope you find it.
Okay, I think we need to go swim. We need to swim the river.
Well, as long as I'm conscious, I can hold my breath for an indefinite amount of time.
I can hold it for forever.
As long as I'm conscious. So you guys, do you want to go fishing with her?
Yes.
To use her as bait.
Yeah.
Well, she's already tied to the rope behind a Wahio.
Mm-hmm. And the lake. Throw me! Throw me into the lake! I'll beat him up.
Nuko sees no problem with this. It's like every 100 feet or so, just yeets, yeets Beatrice into the water.
Yeah. And she's really light, dude. You get air.
Just picks her up in both hands like a spear and just goes, find a one, yeet.
Reload. Toss her back.
Give her about 10 seconds to look around, then haul her back in. Is he hit?
I think we killed Shepard.
Oh, is this actually something you're doing? Is this what's happening?
Yeah.
Yep. We're fishing with her.
Oh, okay. In that case, all right. So, yeah, some logistical questions. So, are you stopping to fish with her, or are you just throwing her in and dragging her in the water behind you as you walk along the bank?
That's a good idea too.
That's a good idea,
run.
too.
Run along. Oh, ride along the bank. You all on horse and elk back.
We could go on both sides of the river and have one rope each of us, and then this way she's perfectly centered in the river.
So, gang, how did you kill your monk? Oh, we just keel hauled her in a river.
Going 100 feet per second.
And get to the biggest part of the river and literally just start fishing, man.
No, I think the original plan was we'd go a bit and stop and throw her in. I think that's what Knuckles was doing.
Yeah, the original thought process was just every 100 feet or so, because he doesn't know, just stops, yeets her into the water for about 10 seconds, then pulls her out and goes, "Did you find him?"
No.
Not gonna lie, that's how I actually fish. If I don't catch anything within 30 minutes, I just move somewhere else. Because if something ain't biting within 30 minutes, something ain't fucking biting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, thunderstorm, fun.
Ooh, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, piece of candy.
It's lightning.
Yeah. But yeah, just every 100 feet or so, just stops, yeets her into the water for 10 seconds, pulls her out. Did you find him?
No. Try get over there. Wah!
All right.
Find him.
No. Try over there.
All right. Oh my god.
Fucking
Make
definition of insanity.
make a perception check, Beatrice, because you're
How
the one in the
many?
water.
Perception.
Yes.
Is she sobering up at all from this experience?
Absolutely
No.
not. If anything, she's more drunk to not remember this.
16, motherfucker. Do you want to know what my other roll is? A 19. Ha!
Yay.
Ha.
She, can
Ha.
see,
Ha.
she sees better underwater than she does in open air.
Yeah, it cleans out our eyes.
Yeah. It's already really wavy with all the drink. It just cancels each other out.
Yeah,
There's all the
cancels out
wind
wave.
everywhere.
The two wavelengths cancel each other out.
That's how it works.
It's science. What'd you say you got? 16? Is that it?
Yeah, she got a 16.
16.
All right. So, as you periodically travel like 100 feet, keel hauling Beatrice in the lake as she's like smashing up against rocks and stones and mud and debris in the river. Mostly trees. Um, Beatrice, you look around for like 10 seconds each.
Yep.
You don't find any large snakes so far. Oh. No, you don't find any large snakes so far. What you do find are massive piranhas.
Fishy.
That are currently swimming up to your direction in a massive school.
As long as I start floating up to the surface and out of the water.
You two just see Beatrice like majestically, almost godly, just float out of the water.
Danger, fishy!
And then she says something. It kind of ruins the emotion of, wow, she's beautiful. Oh, okay. She stood there.
Oh, wow.
Danger fishy! Is it the snake?
No, but they're angry fish.
As you say this, you see like 10 or so piranha just splashing out of the water trying to bite her feet.
Then if I get caught in her wad of hair.
Her wad of air.
Oh! Pepper, you need to take a shot, man.
If I had one, I would have already took it.
Nice.
To be able to contend with thoughts, you have to be a large snake. Perhaps you would be able to see it from the air. We do not have time to squabble with the fish. I guess I should ask, how far across is this river?
Depends on the section. For the most part, it's a consistent, like, 20 feet across.
From here, the piranhas?
From you?
Yeah.
Depends on how far out you would have thrown Beatrice.
I would try to throw her kind of toward the middle so that she could see both sides.
Yeah, it should be about, like, 10 feet out. 10 feet or so.
Oh, sweet! Time for bugbear things to happen. As one of them leaps out of the water, I'm just gonna baseball it onto the riverbank.
How about you use Beatrice as a flail?
Oh no, I don't even need to. Like with the statistics I use, I have an extra 5 feet of reach,
Oh, nice.
so I have a 10-foot melee range. I'm just gonna swing out with the big stick and just back one of them onto the land.
One is, as you see, like the like 10 or so of these like piranha just making the water like boil under them as if like flailing out, trying to bite Beatrice. You kind of stretch out with your arm, almost cartoonishly stretching out, and just whack one of the piranhas onto the mainland. And it's now flopping.
I give it a long, cold, condescending look. Just go. You might be a minion of the Dark One. No. I back it with the big stick.
You hit the flailing piranha, and it is just left as like a little red stain in the dirt, in the mud.
This what did you? And we continue on. Just
All right. Are you gonna do the thing that you mentioned earlier, Beatrice flying up, to see if she can find anything?
for the moment, I'll probably just have her float above the water and just call out if she sees anything weird underneath the surface of the water. And Noogles is also gonna keep his eyes out.
And if she does, then we start fishing again.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right, make perception checks. Everyone who's looking.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Can I have a Wahiho give me the help action?
Sure.
Natural 1.
Oof.
That's what I like to see. Cross, are you keeping? Are you looking out for anything as well? What are you doing?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Nat
that's right.
20.
The two sides of the die. All right. Alright, so as you all keep an eye on the river, looking for any large movements.
We'll find you, and I will spit on you.
Twee. Sorry, I was doing something. Looking for any large movements. You do. Beatrice, you notice a large, dark shape in the water.
Yeah. Keep going.
Cross and Nuckles, you two keep looking. Nothing stands out as like a massive like snake. You do see a large dark shape in the water, but it doesn't seem to be like a snake-like object or anything like that. You see several downed trees off in the distance, similar to what you saw when you approached. Similar to what you saw while you were headed in the direction of the pyramid, of the temple that you headed to originally.
Beatrice will point at the scary dark area on the water. Snake.
Razor focus.
Scary. She just keeps pointing at it.
At the trees or the snake?
At the shape in the water.
The shape in the water.
I think we lost our. Oh, we lost Chicken Man. Where'd he go?
Chicken Man, no.
My brother.
No.
Oh no.
The brother returns.
Bulge?
You there? Everything good?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Nick.
Does not appear to be the snake, Beatrice. It appears to be just there.
Oh. She takes another sip of wine. And she just has a blank face. That's all you're gonna get from her. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not a thought behind those eyes.
Head empty, no thought.
Not that. No, nothing.
She's a real airhead.
Uh,
Wait, is this cowardly snake? We'll just kind of continue like that until dark, I suppose.
All right. Let's see here.
Perception checks times 20.
Give me 20,000 perception checks as you stop every 100 feet. No. Yeah. So you travel for a better part of the day. It does not take very long for night to fall, as it was already late afternoon to begin with. But you travel for the rest of the day until night falls. Give me one last set of perception checks.
I got you. 17, 19.
Hey, Wahiho, give me strength. Dirty 20.
Beatrice, are you using your eyes?
Oh,
Make sure I walked away.
Huh?
Alright. Huh?
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 are you using your eyes?
am I using my eyes?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I am.
Head
Oh.
empty, no thought.
Let me
I don't
perception
do
check.
that. Oh, okay. Again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Perception. 5.
Pog.
She's drunk as shit.
Poggers, bro.
Very pog champ, my dude.
Very, cool guy.
I can just feel the pain in my own soul.
Good. You feel all the pain.
Are you okay?
No, I'm really tired.
You will suffer as I have suffered.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Is this the traditional serenade of my people?
This is the traditional serenade of a very, very, very tired Canadian. Very tired Canadian from the east coast. What? I don't know.
The West Coast.
West.
East? I thought you said West.
I'm fucking with Patrick.
I fucking hate Patrick.
Well, maybe he doesn't like you either.
The two sides of the coin.
I hate SpongeBob with a passion.
Aww.
I'm
But it has
hate that
great
show.
meme material.
I have
Next D&D character.
no. Like I will not I would not disagree that it is amazing meme potential, but I fucking hate the show. Always have, always will.
I'm sorry, Bull, but I have to side with Shep on this one. Fuck.
Oh,
I-
how dare you.
Hated it so much.
Okay, I will say I like the old episodes. The newer ones just got, you know.
Who
You
still
know.
watches it anyways?
You don't have little siblings, don't you?
The best
No.
episode was the fucking the damn, what do they call the first episode of a TV show?
pilot?
Campfire.
Yeah, the
song.
pilot. Best episode was the pilot, and then the pilot ended, and it was all down here from there.
I'm gonna pay for this statement later because my coworker watches these streams. Be hell about it.
You said what?
You don't like SpongeBob.
Anyway,
Anyway, 19 and 20. Yeah, that happened. The thing we're actually here for, not SpongeBob. Let's see here. Alright, so, as you all keep searching the riverside looking for a giant snake, you do find a large, like, slithering shape in the river. You also see, as you travel, you're coming up to like the edge of a cliff. You look over, and you see a waterfall headed down. And over the waterfall, you see a massive area of downed trees next to the river.
Ritual cast comprehend languages. I will speak with Snake.
Snake. Snake.
It is nighttime.
Oh, I sleep.
Well, that's just what I'm asking. Are you going to? What would you like to do? Would you like to try and no? Oh, that's just. What would you like to do? It is nighttime. You have been traveling for the better part of the day.
Sleep.
Do you feel prepared?
Let's not sleep right next to the lake, or any of like the broken, possibly pathways that this giant snake has made. Maybe somewhere a little bit off to the side, where a giant snake can't just see us and look at a smorgasbord of humanoid nuggets.
Nuggies.
Nuggies. So we're sleeping. Beatrice will will float over the lake and try to catch some fish to fry. Nothing too, nothing too much, but still.
All right. Where do you set up camp at? Because currently you're just at the cusp of the edge of this kind of cliffside that goes off into a waterfall.
We're just going to stare at this waterfall. Look over at Beatrice. Look back at the waterfall. Are you
Okay.
thinking what I'm thinking?
No.
It's going to pick up Beatrice.
Okay.
Go check. And I'm going to throw her through the waterfall.
Through the what? All right.
But you're above the waterfall, so you're throwing her down.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, in that case, I just kind of like pendulum her down with the rope. Just yeet.
You cast her out.
And I swing it into the waterfall. Let's see.
Alright. Oh, so much for sleeping. Alright, so as Beatrice is trying to, catch fish, Noodles, you yeet her using the rope, kind of like in a curved fashion over the river, off the side of the cliff, around the waterfall, and Beatrice, you fly face first into the waterfall. Um, yeah, so you fly face first into the waterfall. Uh, yeah, sure, why not? Make a dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty, dexterity saving throw. Let's see. 18.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you're out over the edge of the cliff. You fly into the waterfall. Um, you kind of go through it, and you have to make a quick correction before you slam face first into the side of the cliff. Which you manage to do, so you kind of fly up, and then you're now in between the waterfall and like this very small gap, facing one cliffside.
Like, not a size any kind of snake would be in. Like, big snake.
Make a investigation check.
Three.
You look around where you are. You do not see any like giant cave or anything like that. You see a rough like greenish stone kind of color, like a greenish colored stone. That's currently in front of your face.
She'll start floating back to where she was thrown.
Is there a lair behind the waterfall?
I saw green rock.
This will be a good starting point, but for now, we should sleep.
I'm gonna catch fish.
And we'll start getting ready to take a nap here. As best we can.
Alright. So you take, you go a little bit of ways away. You make up camp. Beatrice, you kind of just float over the river, catching any piranhas that kind of jump out at you, trying to bite your feet, and you catch them.
Yeah.
All right. Are you setting watches?
Oh, absolutely. Freaking Nookles is absolutely convinced that the snake is near.
Yeah.
No, we got the watchbirds.
Herb.
Yeah, they would start clucking as soon as a giant snake were to appear.
So why do you need to sleep? Nookles starts to ask him, he's like, my brother, do you require sleep?
You don't actually know. Does it say it is a spirit of some kind?
Let me double check the wording of the spell. Find Steve.
It's not concentration. It's just a duration.
You summon a spirit that assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed.
Okay, it's a spirit. So you asked why he, whatever the fuck you name this thing, in your mind. You ask him in your mind if he needs to sleep, and you hear in your mind in response, No, I do not need to sleep, but I do enjoy it. It is my favorite pastime. Alongside
understand.
grazing and
This I
galloping.
understand, my brother. For as long as you can, will you wait with the birds and make sure that the snake does not sneak upon us in our sleep? And then when you can no longer sleep as well.
I will do this,
Thank you, my brother.
but I do not trust the birds, for they are squeaky and mechanical.
To be fair, I do not trust them either. They do not reproduce as normally. It is very odd.
I don't like how the big one looks at me. It does not blink. It creeps me out.
If you think that is creepy, I should tell you the story about how the little one came to be.
I heard it have something to do with birds and bees. For some
No.
reason, birds are very fond of bees.
Except in this case. In this case, it was the bird being fond of the gnome.
I am also quite fond of the gnome. I do not see anything wrong with this. But
Fair
the
enough.
bird really should not cheat on the bee. Unless they are in an open relationship, in which case it is okay as long as there is consent between the bird and the bee.
I will have to ask the next time I see a bee.
Do this for me.
This I will do. Thank you, my brother. No, girl, go to sleep. Just bonk.
Alright, so the Burb, Nugget, and Wahi. Fuck you, dude. John.
E.
I did it once, and that was all that was happening. Good old Billy Ray keeps watch.
Oddly enough, when you translate Iwahiho from Sylvan, it's just Bob.
Bob.
Beatrice, I assume you cook the fish as well.
Oh, yeah. You know what? No. Well, what kind of fish did I get?
Rana. Did you hear me?
What?
Rana.
Piranha? Oh. Yeah, then yeah, she would fry it.
It's time for piranha souffle.
She would fry it and try to marinate it in that old spice that she got.
Marinate it in a
That's
dry spice.
Yeah.
It's called a dry rub.
Yep. Completely. It's smoky.
Alright.
Sounds like a lot
Smoky
more of an
piranha.
innuendo than it should have.
What?
Yeah.
A dry rub? What? You're not a fan of dry rubbing? You're not a fan of dry rubbing your meat? I don't see how this could be misconstrued as an
Oh,
innuendo.
we are learning a lot about you today, Shepard.
What do you mean today?
Hashtag the next Twitch highlight.
I don't know what the fuck you mean by today.
Hey.
I just want somebody in the chat who's got a lot of gumption to just like string together all the time Shepard is trying to say Iwahio.
Owahiho.
Wahyahu. That was not even it. I know that wasn't it. I fucked it up halfway through. But you say it with enough conviction, no one notices.
Exactly.
Wahi John.
Little does anyone know that I haven't said it the same way twice.
Alright, so you fry up the fish, you add on the spices, the smell wafts through the air, the smell of the spices is a very strong, like earthy, pungent smell.
Yes. It has she'll try to pick some flowers and toss it into the dry rub to make it smell nicer. Because apparently that's how it's done.
You find some wild growing flowers and you perfume up the dry rub.
Yep. Yep.
Perfume up the dry rub.
Yeah,
Yep.
you gotta add perfume to your dry rub. Gotta make sure it
Again,
smells
hello
nice.
Twitch highlights.
Hello.
How wow.
And now frying it.
You gotta
What's
perfume
up?
it up when you dry rub
That's
dry rub
right.
your meat.
That
You
is
gotta give
actually
it a little forceful with it.
that is actually the correct way to do it. You gotta dry rub and then you fry.
You gotta get your fingers in there and just kind of like get some real grip going on.
With a whole heap of butter.
Where'd she get all that butter? No one knows. There's no cows
Don't
around
worry
here.
about it.
There ain't no refrigeration.
We don't need refrigeration where we're going.
It's not even butter anymore. It's just like melted, like just wet paper
Yeah.
where butter used to be.
Yep.
It's like
Now the question is, has it
Sticky.
fully melted or is it like in its gelatinish form?
absolutely fully melted. Like there's no way it hasn't fully melted.
It's in a jar, don't
Like
worry.
it fully melted in like day one.
She's got a jar of melted butter that she's been carrying around this entire time.
Yeah. Don't you?
It's for your dry rub, so it's not dry.
Yeah.
God, Beatrice is the kind of person to be running around with a jar of dirt.
Yeah.
It's the job done.
Called butter.
Will the job done help?
If you don't want it, give it back.
No.
Then it helps.
Then it helps. Great actress.
Oh, great.
I
Now
love
have
that
to-
actress.
Now I have to play a witch doctor character at some point.
All right, so
Anyway, back to current going on.
you rest for the night. The trio of pets keeping watch. You all have a nice meal of fried piranha. Here's a weird question: Would Beatrice have filleted the piranha, or would she have sunfished it style?
I'd say fillet it.
Fillet it. Okay, cool.
Or whatever would be the correct. She knows what she's doing when she's cooking.
I don't know.
So whichever way.
I'm just asking if there's like little piranha faces on the fish.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
absolutely.
So there's still like little piranha faces that are like deep fried and have
Yeah.
like spices rubbed on their faces.
That's hilarious. Yes.
Anime style, they're like on the end of a stick.
Yeah.
Because sticks make everything better.
And they're just on the rocks in the middle of the fire.
But that's not how you fry stuff. Anime.
Oh well.
It's anime. We don't gotta explain shit.
It's just a
And-
miscellaneous piece of meat with a bone sticking through it.
And whenever we do explain shit, we fucking forget we've explained it 3 episodes later and do whatever the fuck we want anyway. Goku.
Alright, so let's see here. Give me a perception check with advantage for Nugget and Burb, and give me a regular perception check for what? For John.
god, what's his wisdom mod? 0.
Every time I do that, I do feel a little bit bad because feels a little bit like whitewashing, but
You got an 11.
everybody looks like a John. Everyone looks like John.
Listen, I don't mind for the simple fact that when I made that name, it was literally just the first 3 sounds that came out of my mouth.
All right, let's see here. Cross, did you roll for Nugget and Burb?
I forgot. I'm doing it. Computer's loading. If I was asleep, perception?
Yes.
And both his have advantage, correct?
Well, just one would, because it'd be like one given the low advantage.
What the heck, dude? Wait, maybe they have better perception. Okay.
I think they actually do.
Oh my gosh, Burb.
Yeah.
We could just add the bonus. The bonus. Yeah, because they have bonuses. I don't have bonuses.
Yeah, they actually do have a good perception.
It's like they both have a +6.
I think because they both have a bonus, but they're also using your proficiency bonus. Probably time something because Tasha's did weird stuff with these familiars.
Tasha.
Down you, Tasha. Down you.
You could use the pluses if you want, with the original rolls.
I'll just check what you rolled. For them.
What's your artificer level?
24.
3.
Great. Alright, let's see.
What's your wizard level?
Big.
Proficiency
Everything else.
Bonus, proficiency bonus ×2.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
What level are you right now?
I don't know. What level is everyone?
8?
I feel like that's something you need to keep track of.
That is, we are level 8.
Yeah, we're level 8. So I believe we have a +3. So yeah, that's why they have a +6 to it.
Exactly. It's just +6.
I was just trying to make sure you had all your levels.
Yeah, we haven't hit level 9 yet.
Let's see here. All right, so as they all keep a lookout, midway through your rest, as you are all sleeping soundly, Cross, you hear like a cooing beside you as you wake up. You see Burb and Nugget kind of standing beside you, looking out of. I forget. Did y'all get tents? I don't remember.
No, not in this one.
Not in this one. Looking out over where you're laying at in your sleeping bag, over the waterfall.
It's cooing? That's what it do? It's cooing?
Yeah, they're cooing at you to try and get you up.
I awake. What did the bird?
They look down at you and then look back out over the waterfall.
I look over waterfall.
Look over the waterfall. Make a perception check.
It's too early for this. It's dark out.
Burb, Nugget, it's too early. I'm going back to sleep. Goodbye. You look out over the waterfall and you just see like the faintest you see like the faintest break in the waterfall. Kind of in the middle, like a big stone is protruding out of the waterfall and is breaking the waves. It's not waves. And it's like breaking the surface tension of the waterfall and making it go into two.
Rocks. Would is it important, Bird? Can I go to sleep now?
Bourbon Nugget both facepalm.
They both have like a dead eye set on the object, and they kind of give off like a warning coo that they typically give you when danger is nearby.
Okay, I'll go kick Nose and Beatrice.
Whack!
Kick him in the foot.
Eyes flash open and arm goes to the big stick.
You have my pinky toe.
What's going on? What?
Look over the water. There's rocks.
Box?
Scary rocks.
Rock.
You walk with me, my brother, and I will run over to the side to look down.
She'll float over.
Alright, you two float over. You two float. You two go over the. I'll look over the side of the waterfall. There is a large boulder that wasn't there previously. Give me perception checks.
Would like to have a Wahi-Ho give me advantage.
Sure.
Because help action is broken as shit.
Wow.
A Wahiho takes the hooves and like spreads open your eyelids.
I must see better, my brother. Thank you.
Is it hooves? It's not hooves, is it? Do they? I don't think it's
hooves.
actually. I don't think it's actually called hooves though, isn't it? Because they actually have toes. Whereas a horse hoof only has like one. It's like one toe, whereas a deer has like two.
I
Maybe
think
four.
it's still hoof.
Is it still
I think
hoof?
it's a hoof.
Might be. I don't know.
Yeah, they're elk have hooves.
Are they still called hooves and they have like multiple toes?
Let's ask the Canadian.
Canadian. What are they called?
Yeah?
She
Hola.
knows moose.
Moose?
It's
She knows
you know, it's the
moose,
same.
not
Like,
elk.
mooses, you know, just what's the difference between a moose and an elk other than the size?
Moose are huge, man.
See, just
Moosin?
the size.
Plural?
A
Mooses.
moose?
Moosin?
Moose and meeson. Moose and
Wait,
meeson.
okay. Hold
What do
on.
you call her?
Hold on.
Hold on.
What's the question?
What
Oh,
are moose or elk in this case? What are elk feet called? Are they just called hooves? Are they called toes?
Hooves.
Are they called
Hooves.
hooves? Okay.
They are technically hooves.
Even though they got more than one toe.
Yes.
They're a split hoof, but it's still a hoof.
Yes.
Hoof is
Correct.
a hoof, no matter how many toes. Hoof is a hoof is a hoof.
And
Yep.
what's plural of moose?
Moose.
Mason.
Moose.
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 The moose.
Fishes.
It's
Fishes.
Moose
It's just
or
it's
mooses.
similar to couscous, only it's moose.
No.
But you don't like couscous? You don't like the moose couscous? Actually sounds kind of good.
Getting worse.
A moose couscous. Couscous with moose. Kind of sounds good. I actually kind of want to try that. I don't think it exists, but I kind of want to try it. Couscous with like moose meat. I think it would be kind of be a little gamey, but I think it'd be kind of good. Gravy, like brown gravy. I think it'd be kind of good.
What is bold?
Luck. hunting a moose. You tiny cat.
Have you eaten moose?
No.
All you
How
need
dare
is a
you
big enough
assume
gun.
that?
Is it illegal?
I don't. No, it's not illegal. I don't have moose in my area. But those fuckers are big.
I
dude.
love that in this sentence, the insinuation is the only reason why you haven't hunted and eaten a moose is because they aren't where you are.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. That's the only thing stopping you. If they were
Yeah.
there, be damned, they'd be dead and on your plate by the morrow.
You're goddamn right.
I don't know. I watched a guy try and like fucking hunt a moose with a bow and arrow. Like that was fucking weird. There's a YouTube video on it because the moose fucking turns and charges him because he's a dumbass and shoots it from 20 feet away.
I mean, you know, how you think they did it before? Probably with spear, probably not with an arrow, but
And more than one person.
similar concept. What is a spear but just a giant arrow?
It's just-
D&D field trip. Let's meet up in Canada and go get a moose.
No.
Armed
make-
only with spears.
And make moose couscous.
You guys can try that. I'll be over here watching you fail.
3 Americans and a Canadian go hunting a moose.
One's on the side. Can you guess who?
3 Americans and a Canadian find a moose. They invite it to make
We'll name
couscous.
it. We'll name it Oahiho.
No, don't kill him, Wahiho.
A Wahiho couscous.
We can kill his bastard brother, Wahaha.
Okay.
Also, Beatrice,
Yeah.
perception check. If you didn't do it already.
Oh, I did not. Perception? Alright. Poggers.
Also, Nichols, do you have dark vision?
No.
6.
I got it.
And you wrote revenge anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. So you look down, and it looks like a fairly decent sized boulder that's like sticking out of the waterfall, kind of breaking it into. It's like this pointed boulder. You don't remember seeing it last time you looked over. But it could be that the waterfall changed in, shape or something while you were sleeping. Could be like a phase of the moon causing something to change. Nookles, as you kind of look down at it with Wahiho's help, holding you open your eyelids, you notice after watching it for looking at it, not quite watching it, but after looking at it for a few moments, you swear you see what looks like a tongue, kind of like or like some sort of tree limb in like the shape of a fork, kind of flick in and out.
Uh-oh.
Very quietly reach over and just like gently tap Beatrice on the shoulder to get her attention.
Yeah.
Point down at the boulder. It's doing the tongue thing of the lizards.
It's a lizard rock.
Or a snake rock. Shh.
What?
Don't draw attention.
What do we do?
For now, we'll go to bed so that we can be properly ready to kill it in the morning.
Okay.
Alright, so
Slowly retreat away from the edge of the waterfall.
you slowly retreat away from the waterfall. Which is fairly easy to do. Like the waterfall is making a loud, like, crashing sound as the water falls down. So it's not too difficult to like stay quieter than that. You make your way back to your bedrolls and try to finish your rest.
Bedrolls. Now I'm hungry. I'm thinking of food.
Rows made of beds. Of beds made of rolls.
Bedroll.
Bed
Breadable.
rolls. Breadable rolls. Nice
Try
and
and go back to sleep
buttered.
the best we can.
You go lay back down. Your familiars, your summons, keeping watch again to make sure nothing disturbs you in your sleep. You wake up in the morning, the sun shining down through clouded skies. A heavy dew kind of covers all of you. And you're three.
Mountain Dew.
What is that?
We get long rest in then?
Yes, you get a long rest. A very nerve-induced long rest.
Before long rest, can I cast Sending?
Sure. Well, who would you like to send?
I will send to Lizard King that we are currently left, and we found the temple, and we will be back shortly.
Making sure this is if I'm getting this right. Is this sending or is this messages?
It's send. He can send back. It's unlimited distance. I think. Let me just do it real quick. Damn.
Sensing.
There's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive. Oh no. Oh no, that's just kidding. That's across
That's across
if it goes
different
across
dimensions.
planes.
different plane. Never mind.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is sending. Message is the short distance one. I always get it confused. Alright, so you cast sending, you tell them that that you're no longer there and that you
We have explored the temple.
you receive a reply. We noticed you weren't here when we met after the meeting. We are familiar with the temple. Be careful. Dangers lurk in those stones.
Cool. So that means he finished his meeting?
Sounds like it.
Seems like it, yeah.
Then tell me if they are peaceful or not. Oh, well.
Nuke.
You've been gone for like
Those
2 days at this
two.
point.
Yeah. We've been going for a while.
Alright, so you send that message off before you go back to sleep, and then you go back to sleep, you finish off your rest. This is also a question. While you were all resting, did any of you look at those items? Would you have looked at any of those items that you found? to try and
She used the spices that she received.
Forgot
That
about
is
that.
all.
Forgot about
Oh,
that.
and she still has the shield on her back and pretending to be a turtle with it. But that's also it.
Toodle. Toodle. Is she a member of the Turtle Club?
Turtle Club?
It's from a movie, and I've never actually seen.
I know what it is.
Never
I
actually
know.
seen that movie.
It's kind of a crap movie.
With a pun like Turtle Club, I imagine. So is that enough from everybody?
Nukos doesn't even know what they have, so.
I mean,
Can we do it in the morning?
you could have. Well, yeah, you could if you want to. Yeah.
Or we're gonna go fight this thing early morning?
Depends on what you do.
I think we should fight this thing early morning. Yeah, I don't think I'd go through it.
Alright, in that case, give me, yeah, as you're like looking over the stuff, don't remember. Do you have identify as a spell? I know you have access to it, but did you like take it?
It's nighttime. I could prepare it, but I did not prepare it.
Well, this is technically after a long rest.
Well,
could
he's
recuperate yourself.
saying that like,
Oh.
if you do fight, like as soon as you wake up, that he would have done it at night.
Yeah, if we're gonna fight, I wouldn't have done that.
Well, we gotta determine if Ephesium's still there in the morning is the main thing.
Yeah, but my spells, I don't know. I feel like wake up spells.
Well, if you didn't prepare it, give me, are you looking at the shield? Oh, you're not gonna
My
look at
what?
the shield. Are you looking at the shield as well? Did you get a Beatrice? Or she has like a total?
Turtle.
Total.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll get a spell. It'll be simple. What can I get?
Well, if you didn't prepare it, then you can't use it as a thing.
Maybe I want it now.
A little late for that. A little late for that.
Okay. What do you want me to do? Just tell me what am I rolling?
Give me
Arcana? You want me Arcana?
give me 2 Arcana checks. No, 3. Give me 3 Arcana checks.
I don't know why it's doing advantage when I tell it now.
Don't know. I think it always shows it.
Oh, the 2 came back, so it's all good.
You also have your familiars, so again, there's like no reason for you not to roll with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so alright, with a 16, you first one you look at is you look at the javelin first. You do notice there are some arcane, like some ancient elvish arcane scripts on the no, not elvish, infernal scripts on the javelin. You're not too sure what they are, but they do seem to have some sort of aspect to do with let me double check. I believe invocation, but let me double check. Yeah, evocation. Yeah. So they do seem to be some sort of evocation enchantment on the
What
javelin.
does that mean?
Excellent question. I actually don't know myself.
My character knows, but I don't know.
Character does know. Fortunately, I am terrible with the schools of magic, and evocation is one of the ones that I always forget what it means.
So, evocation are these spells that kind of invoke powers, whether they be elemental or otherworldly, in order to cause usually some form of attacking style ability.
Hmm.
Evocation is basically just pulling energy from one part of the arcane weave into another to create an effect, which is different from transmutation, which is changing one's form of energy into another. Most commonly known evocation spells would include, like, obviously fireball and lightning bolts, but I think there's a couple more that are a little more wonky.
Fireball.
Me quickly scanning
Oh.
through the spells list.
Yeah. So that's what you find out for the javelin. The second item you look at is you look at the. I believe you found the shield second. So you take a look at the shield. The shield, the buckler that Beatrice is wearing as a total show. You see Elven scripts. Actually, no, you would have found the cape thing. Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. You find Elven script on the shield. That is let's see here. Yeah.
Oh, where are my notes? I guess I didn't save last time I wrote stuff down. I think I missed treasure from some of the rooms.
What all do you have right now?
I got the Elven room, I got the Serpent room, and I have the Lizard room. So I'm missing the Monkey room stuff.
Yeah, this is the one item that you found in the ape room. That wasn't something like a gems or anything like that. You found the other stuff you found was like I think 15 coins. You found
I'll just put coins. That's fine. Coins.
you found like 15 coins. You found this. And, you found a ring that has some gems in it.
Oh yeah, we had the two rings. Yeah, the Jade Ring and then the other ring.
Yeah, the Jade Ring and the ring that had like small gems in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you just exit, it doesn't save.
Yeah, yeah. If you just exit, you don't save. You have to hit OK.
Okay, so the monkey buckler.
Bakla. Yeah, so you look at it, it has some Elven script on it, some Elven enchantments on it, that appeared to be abjuration in nature. Some sort of hold on, actually, because I was looking up the other one for us, so let me double check this. This may be. Alright, correction. It has transmutation. Enchantments placed on it. And you're able to figure out a little bit about them. They appear to be transmutation enchantments to increase one's God, what's the word? How should I describe this? To increase one's reflexes and perceptions.
Nice. Do the monk get the bonuses or no? She's just a turret shield.
Depends.
What depends? What was the question again?
Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So as long as you are wielding it, then yes, you are actually getting the benefits of this.
Is
I'm
she
tech-
allowed to wield it or no?
I don't think I am.
Well, if you do wield it, I think your AC bonus is.
I am not.
Okay, so you're not wearing it. Okay, then you just have it. Then you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
gaining
hey,
these
you know
bonuses.
this thing can do more than be turtle, right? This is more than a turtle costume.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
It can be really good. We can
No.
use it to stay alive.
I go fast, and she starts running.
Even at a crawl speed is still faster than us.
Are you just running, or did you quotations equip the shield?
No, she's running on all fours, with the shield still on her back, acting like a turtle.
Fastest turtle this side of the Mississippi.
Oh my god, it's so fast.
Oh my god, he's so fast. Look how fast she is. Oh my god.
While they're figuring out the magic item situation, Nookles is just gonna go over to the edge of the waterfall and look over and see if that boulder is still there.
We're saying that this was all like the previous night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're doing all this like the previous night.
Okay.
I'm getting very confused most of the time.
Yeah. I
I'm
should have
fine with
like
it.
took care of this before you all actually did it your short rest, but forgot to mention it. And then for your last one, you look at the cloak that you're wearing. Let's see here. And the cloak, you look at it and you notice that it has a what's the word? Infernal enchantments on it as well, and those are abjuration. Where is that? I had it, then I lost it.
Hey, Nicholas, you want to fight with a stick?
What about the stick?
It's a pointy stick with magic.
Come over and sniff at it. Just what's it do?
Powerful magic.
Alright. And the cloak has a abjuration enchantment on it that increases that bolsters your that bolsters one's defenses.
Do you want the cloak or you want the stick? Or you can go fight Turtle for her shield.
Turtle.
Let me see the stick.
Turtle.
I want to see the stick. Makes giant grabby hand at the stick. Just
Keep stick.
give stick. And then, I guess as part of the long rest, then I would have tried to attune to the stick that I was given.
All right. You take the nice shiny stick. Yeah. So the javelin is like is a javelin that has like a snake that kind of curls around the shaft up, and its head kind of makes up the the spear tip, with the spear tip kind of coming out, and those like streaks of like what looks like lightning kind of etched into the blade. Let's see here.
It will be irony.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so you take it and you begin to train with it over your long rest. Let's see here. Yeah. As you do, you notice that like it doesn't seem to like attune to you in any way. But you look at it and you do notice that it does have like these like infernal like. And do you speak infernal? I think you do, don't you?
I do not. I speak
Don't.
Common, Goblin, Sylvan, and Elven.
I thought you did.
I speak Common, Primordial, and also Sylvan.
Any of you speak infernal? I don't know why I said
Cross?
any of you. The only one that would be
Cross?
was Cross. Asshole.
What do you speak? What are your languages?
I don't have my character sheet up.
I think you speak
Well,
Common, Gnome, and I thought that was it. You may have one.
Celestial and Abyssal. Because one of these days that's going to be important.
Let me make sure that this is, in fact, infernal and not abyssal.
There's too many languages to choose from.
One of these days, for shits and giggles, I'm gonna figure out a character build where I can just speak every goddamn language in the game.
Like Pathfinder and have a really high intelligence. Oh, I'm wrong. It is abyssal. It is not infernal. It is well, they're the same script, but it is in fact abyssal and not infernal. So you finally.
I've had that on all of my characters so far, and this is the first time it's important.
You know what? Actually, that means you probably could have talked to them.
So who?
Snake people. Matter of fact,
I thought they spoke Sylvan.
no, they were speaking. For the most part, they were speaking in Draconic, not Draconic, because I think every reptile having Draconic is stupid. But
Yuan-Tian?
yeah, Yuan-Tian. But they also speak Abyssal traditionally. So you know, they never really spoke it in front of you. But if you would have spoken Abyssal, they actually would have been able to understand you.
But now that I know, there's an association with snakes and Abyssal, so I will try it next time.
There is an association though. But yeah, so you actually can like make out some of these like enchantments. It appears that these are the enchantments that these enchantments will transform this javelin into a lightning bolt.
I figured that's what you were trying to get at was a lightning javelin.
Yeah, javelin. No, lightning. Not the boom boom stick, it's the zap zap stick.
Boom boom stick.
I guess it just kind of go boom boom.
So you throw the javelin and it turns to lightning?
Pretty much.
When you speak the command word, which would probably be written on this javelin itself.
Yes.
So it just shoots lightning bolts.
Well, it becomes a lightning bolt.
But do I get it back, or no? I have to go pick it up.
You gotta pick it back up. But
Yeah, you gotta go pick it back up, but it's because it's basically like you pick a target, speak the command word, and you throw it at the target, and anything on the way to the target gets hit with the initial lightning damage, and then the target gets a ranged attack on it for 4d6 lightning damage.
Interesting. Lightning stick.
it's traditional. It's pretty good. Pretty neat.
So you get to keep your attunement to your big stick, and now you have thunder stick.
Or the big stick is just a big stick.
Yeah, his big stick is just a big stick.
Gas powered stick.
Hey Beatrice, you want a thunder stick?
Yeah.
He's trying to give the same gift to two different people.
I want your turtle shield, please.
Okay. And she'll like toss the shell like a frisbee, and she'll take the stick.
Cool. All right, Knuckles. Which one do you want now?
I am the storm.
Wait, who's getting the stick? Is Nucleus taking the stick, or is...
I
I
am
give it to Beatrice because she can't use the shield.
my stick.
You also have a cloak. Are you keeping the cloak for yourself, or are you giving it to somebody?
I'll put it to Knuckles and let him decide what he wants. But I'm kind of wearing the cloak, but I'm saying, what do you want?
I sniff at the cloak.
Sniff at the cloak. It smells musty. Because it's been in a pyramid for who knows how long.
This is the work of librarian. And I just put the cloak around across his shoulders. If for you.
Okay, I give him shield.
Alright, so the cloak...
Sniff shield.
You sniff the shield. It also smells musty. Because it's been in a pyramid for who knows how long. So it also smells slightly metallic and wooden. Because it is metallic and made of wood.
Nice.
Strap it to my back.
Not even gonna use it, just gonna strap it to his back.
I have the big stick. It requires 2 hands.
Well, I also have a big battle axe that requires 2 hands.
Hold on, let me look at the buckler 1 minute. I don't remember if buckle is like...
I think it's like a
this-
medium shield or small shield.
The thing is, there's only one shield in D&D. They don't like specialize between them.
Oh.
Previous editions, I think there was, but in 5e they just made it super simple, which I like. But there's not much.
Wait, no, just kidding. No, my battle axe is versatile, so I could use shield if he doesn't want to use it.
I will hand shield back. I need 2 hands for the big stick.
You found it very difficult to hold this to swing your big stick with the shield.
It is a very big stick.
But now the cloak matches your skin tone.
Okay, so I did find a thing. It is from Pathfinder, however.
No worries. It will make it easy on you. I'll keep shield, and my weapon is one-handed, so we're good.
Alright. I don't think you often use your weapon anyway, though, do you? Usually you
Yeah,
right?
I do sometimes. And I've been using it one-handed a lot. I haven't been using the two-handed version. Yeah, that's so weird. This entire time I've been using this weapon, I never swapped to 2 hands.
You don't... Do you have Warcaster?
No, what is that?
It's a feat.
No.
Basically, with regular spellcasting, you need 1 hand free to do the
Yes.
somatic components. So if like you're wielding a
Oh.
shield, you need
I can't do a spell.
Yeah.
Is
that's-
it gonna take an action or a bonus action to swap to shield?
So
for
the
shit,
thing-
yeah. So to equip a shield, I believe it is an action. It is. To don and doff a shield, it is an action.
the
Unless you
thing
have the
that I did-
Warcaster feat, you can't do somatic components. If your spells don't have somatic components, you're good. If they do, you have to have at least 1 free hand. So it kind of goes into like a juggling of action economy for spellcasters who don't have warcasting. Especially if they have a weapon, which is what you have. Because now you have to think about it like this: you have a shield in one hand, you have a weapon in the other, and you're not even holding your casting focus, which you have to do also.
Well, that's why you need the free hand, is to hold the
Yeah.
spellcasting focus.
I see. So I might have to just drop my weapon and like use it when I get up close or something.
Well, let me
Or
tell
the-
you what the buckler does for us, because well, it's not too much, but fuck it. We'll say you trained with it during your long rest, because we got to finish up here soon anyway. Well, I should pass time. The buckler is advantage on perception checks and initiative. That's what the buckler does.
On what checks?
Perception checks and initiative. So you roll with advantage on initiative if you have those. And whenever you make perception checks, you make your rolls with advantage.
What you can do, because I did this with a caster cleric that I was using previously. You can technically start with your melee weapon sheathed, so you can have your free hand to do spells, and hold the shield with your other hand.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a splitting hairs thing, but yeah.
Yeah, that is something. Because usually, when you make your first attack, most people say you also unsheath their weapon when you make your first attack. The thing about that is you also have to be like, okay, well, I either drop my spellcasting focus, which you could say you have it tied onto you so you don't actually drop it on roll, but you still gotta drop it, which is a free action. Or you use an action to drop your buckle or your shoulder, whatever kind of shield it is. But then you don't have an action to attack with, so it's like meh. So the only real option is to drop your spellcasting focus, take out your weapon, and then you have a juggling match of dropping that and then picking up whatever else it was, which is an item interaction, so you can do that. So that's the juggling match. You drop something, you pick something up. You drop something, you pick something up. You drop it on, it's this. This is the action economy of juggling. However, the only thing is, if you drop something and you move and it's not tied onto you, now it's back there and you got to go back and get it.
Well, it's the main thing is just dropping is the free action, but you can also swap what's in your hand as an action.
Well, you can also pick an item up as an item interaction, which I would say would just be easier to do. That's the juggling that I've always thought of is drop free action, pick up item interaction, do whatever you want with your action.
That's if you want to change super quick, because it's a weird action economy thing, because if you trade if you sheath a weapon and draw another weapon, or draw another item, it's an action. If you drop an item in your main hand, that's a free action, and then it becomes a bonus action to draw the second weapon. It's very weird.
I don't know. The way I've ruled it in the past is if you're attacking with your weapon, you draw it at the same time. You draw and attack. I don't think that's
weird action economy thing.
I don't think in the book. I don't think it's technically worded that way, but I think it also gives you the option to be like, if you're attacking, you can also unsheath your weapon at the same time. I think they give you that as an option on the DMG or the Player's Handbook. I don't remember. Probably both. Probably neither. But usually our rule is you unsheath and attack at the same time. One flow sword.
I will say no shield.
What I was going to say was, before we actually got into all this, is that there is a Pathfinder thing of a buckler. Where you can use a buckler and a ranged weapon, a bow or a crossbow, and you're fine. You can use a weapon in your offhand, however you take a penalty. Which, this is Pathfinder, so they're actually using number penalty. Which was a -1, which we could do, or we could just give you disadvantage, which is by far much worse. So probably just stick with the -1. -1 penalty to your attacks if you attack with it in that hand, which would free you up a hand if we use buckler rules, and I did say this was a buckler.
No, I'm okay. I just want to use it.
Alright,
That sucks. You got 3 people. 3 people in the party that can't use shields.
Funny how that works out, isn't it?
Uh,
Usually the paladin has a shield. And the other item was the cloak. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what it is, and we'll finish up here. The cloak gives you +1 to your
AC.
yes, thank you, to your AC and to your saving throws. All of them.
Cloak of protection.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's what the items do.
Yes. Do you want a juggle shield? Cross? Or, Knuckles or no? If you don't, it's fine. No worries. Oh, we don't need to do it. I could just do the juggle the first round, and then after initiative, I just won't use the shield. I'll just, literally just drop it on the floor.
Like, it's a weird thing, because as a paladin, I don't necessarily need magic items, so I'd feel better if you had the cloak and the shield if you wanted to use them, but because I do just spit. I spit on things.
Okay, whatever. I would lovely take them both, but I don't need it.
I already have an AC of 17. I'm fine. Like, just
Okay, I have an AC of 16, so it boosts me up 1.
yeah, you take it. Where
Okay.
under my sea librarian cloak?
The shield gives you +2 AC.
Yeah.
The shield?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
As
you'd
what-
be getting a +3 overall.
Yeah, overall. Actually, let me look at that.
It's okay. I don't want to wield shields because my ability for my class says I can't use shields.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's why I would use it
Fair.
for the initiative bonus and then just drop it.
Fair enough. I think
Guys.
Yes. I know. It's
Guys,
super late. It's super late. I know.
I love you all so much. It's 12:47.
I love you too.
I love you too.
I love you too, bruh. Yes. It's very late. We've gone over time. I just
Okay,
wanted
thanks,
to
everyone.
make sure everyone knew what these things did. So
Yep.
yeah, that'd be it. I hope you enjoyed. You all gained a level.
Yay!
Yay!
Follow-up question: will this take effect now or?
Sure, why not? Fuck it.
Okay.
We're sleeping now, so might as well.
Yep. So if you all gain a level, go ahead, save your tokens. You can level them up. Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next week.
Yep,
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell. And I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to ring that little bell so you'll be notified when I post again. And I will see you all next time.